Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Music and Beyond. I'm Ernie Crazy Eyes from Primitive Minds. Tonight, I have well, it's not tonight because you can see the light, but today, I have a band from Harlingen, Texas called Seeing June. How are you guys doing?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Doing awesome.
How's the quarantine treating y'all? Cool.
A lot of food.
Not bad.
What
Not all.
quarantine?
I'm enjoying it.
Yes.
I'm enjoying it.
I like it. I
Going
mean,
out
I
about-
honestly, I've had a pretty good time last 2 months.
Good.
For me
Yeah.
personally, at least, you know.
I've been playing too many video games. It's been insane.
Oh yeah, same here.
I feel that.
Yeah. Too much.
But let's start off with I'm always intrigued with band names. So, how did you guys come up with the band name Seeing June?
That's
Cat.
that's all.
Cat. We
That's
got
Cat.
cat.
Well, a long time ago. This band has been around for a good while. It finally became a real band once Alice came in. So way before Joe and Richard were even in, it was called Days of Radiation. And it was with these two other dudes. And then from there we ended up picking up Rich. And then from there we ended up picking up Joe. And we kind of, I don't know if it was probably just me, but we kind of felt like that name was a bit too like intense.
Yeah.
It's like a song.
We weren't even playing like anything that heavy. So we ended up just thinking, and somehow we came with Seeing June.
Was it the month of June?
It was in
It was
the month
during
of
June,
June.
wasn't it?
I don't know.
2011,
Possibly.
2012, around that time.
Yeah, 2012. It's been quite a long time.
2012 is when that, because I
Yeah.
joined in
Oh
right the first week of 2014.
Yeah. So
So, wow.
that's
We're
right.
already
Yeah.
through the whole year.
We finally got Alice.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like what 2018.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's 2018.
Yeah.
Was it 2018?
Yeah, it's February.
Mhm.
When you guys first met, I think March. Well, I came back down in early April, so.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And now we have Seeing June. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, the early days.
This question is for everybody. Everybody could answer this. Who inspired you to pick up the instruments and or the mic?
Who's going first?
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Calm down, so not so fast, one at a time.
You want to go first, or I mean, whatever.
I like
Sure,
how
sure.
it says you want to go first, but we're all looking at the screen.
Yeah,
You want
Yeah,
to
like,
I'll go first. I'll just say.
all right.
Alright.
For me, I play bass, right? So, my influences. Well, my first Mark Hoppus from Blink-182 was my favorite band at the time, and then from the band Silver Sun Pickups, Nikki Moniker played bass, and I think she's awesome. I play a Thunderbird like her, so those are my two, like for bass playing, would be my influences.
Nice. And now you're in a band. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and Kim Deal from the Pixies, but that's later. Yeah, huge influence.
Cool.
Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Next.
I don't know why I said thank you.
You're welcome.
What inspired me to pick up the guitar was early on. I was watching a lot of Elvis movies. I went through like this Elvis phase, and just watching them on TV and all those movies, and got all the chicks, you know, dancing up there and shit. It was pretty cool. I went through a big Elvis phase early on, like around 9 or 10, and I thought like, wow, this is really cool. It's really awesome. And I was really into rock docs, and I saw a Jimi Hendrix documentary, and then from there it just took off. I just started listening to more blues and more rock, and I was like, wow, I want to do that too. I want to get all that, you know, under my fingers. I want to know how that feels like. So, you know, from there it just took off. I started learning songs little by little, and I just became obsessed with it. And soloing didn't really seem like a thing that would be even possible at the time, or even like writing a song or anything like that. So, just studying all that, and it kind of didn't really feel like I was studying it. It just felt like it was just fun. It was just like I was just into it.
And
But Elvis would be the first guy that that would get me into like interested.
yeah. And see, that's awesome because, like, I've met a lot of musicians, and they never said like, "Oh, it's fun for me to do this." It was kind of like just a lot of hard work and dedication and stuff. But to know that sometimes it's fun, that's pretty cool. But here's my question too: did you ever try to sing like Elvis when you were like,
All the time, but nobody heard that but me and my family, because I'll be in my room, or in the shower or something.
Oh, yeah.
I do my best Elvis impersonation. But yeah, dude. I mean, I had that CD on repeat. Yeah, that's who got me into it.
All right, which one of you guys is gonna go? Rich, Kat? Huh?
I think it's your turn.
Mine?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. I didn't really plan on singing at all. I originally, when I was growing up, was really into just drawing and stuff. I was really quiet, and it all had to do with Copley Middle School because I had originally went into art class, and it was the first day of middle school. It was my 6th grade year, and I went in, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure other people know who the art teacher is, and they might like him. I did not like him at all. The first day, we had this assignment to draw like something, and so I was, I just went straight at it, and he got upset at me. He was like, "No, you have to do it this way." And I got super offended, and I was like, "Excuse me, art, you can't just have it done one way. You told me to do this." So like, I just felt really, I don't know, like I just felt like it's not expressive if you're being told exactly how to do something. And I'd been drawing all my life. It wasn't correct. It wasn't, technically whatever, but I don't think that art should be like that. So I immediately left the classroom. It was the first day of school. It wasn't even, I think, like 30 minutes in, and I went to the front office and I was like, "Can I get out of this class? I just want to get out." And they said the only place that they had, because I was like, "Okay, let me go to band. I'd rather go to band." And they're like, "Oh, it's filled. Like, it's completely packed to the max. There's only one place you can go, and it's choir."
Oh,
I was
man.
like, great. Like
Yeah,
that's
that's
like,
my voice to
like
everybody.
no kidding. There's space there, right? And so I went in, and the first year, my 6th grade year, I mean, I was a nobody. I didn't really want to be there. I wasn't really singing. I wasn't really anything. I was just kind of gliding by, being invisible. And the next year, they changed directors, and all the people that were big shots and stuff in choir, we all started on a clean slate, I guess. You know what I mean? Like everybody that had solos and had, the prestige, it was because they were good with the director. So all of a sudden we get a new director, and I ended up befriending her, and she was kind of the one that was like, "Hey, you know what? I'm going to give you a solo." And I was like, "No, don't do that. Like, you're my friend. Don't do that." And she was like, No. Like, I want, like, I love you, but you need to, find yourself. Like, I think that you have potential. Like, let's. And so it really had to do with just directors. Those people that I think kind of pushed me to doing it, because I didn't even know I had a voice. And so she put me out there a lot, and it was very intense. I had a play that I was in, and I had the loudest projection, and I didn't even know, for someone that was so quiet, I had no idea that I could use my voice like that. And so it just became more like, wow, what else can I do? You know what I mean? And yeah, so I can't really say that there was anybody specifically, because I wasn't really looking for it. If anything, like, I had wanted to play the guitar. I wanted to play an instrument, and there were so many different instruments that, like, even to this day, that amuse me a lot. And so I went through a phase of guitar. I went through a phase of bass. but for some reason, like, I found my voice one day and I just haven't been able to stop, I guess. So yeah, it really has to do with just like those normal people from school. So
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Next.
Next.
shout out. Okay.
Oh, damn.
Follow up.
Go, cat. Go, go, go.
Well,
What
when
was
I
that
was a
hard,
kid,
dude?
I would go to church a lot. So one day I was just like Alice. I was like, I wanted to do guitar. Like I thought that was so cool, but I could never get the notes. I could never freaking get them. I don't know why. So there I am, still trying to do it, and then here comes the pastor's brother, and he has a drum set, and I hear it, and it just blows me away. And after that, he starts teaching me. He's teaching me, and I finally get the simple rock beat down. And from there, I've already been listening like to punk music, punk pop, and all this other kind. So I started putting on headphones, and just like Brandon, at the time my favorite band was Blink-182. So hearing Travis Barker go crazy on the kit was mind blowing. I wanted to go as fast as he could. I wanted to do all the fills he could. Everything he did, I wanted to try doing. So in the end, it ended up being like Barker, who was inspiring more and more, like go faster, go crazier, and all this stuff. So yeah, I think that's about it.
Hell yeah.
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 All right, Rich. But,
Nah. For me, I only picked up guitar because I used to be in orchestra back in middle school, and then my dad had brought me a guitar friend, and he told me to try it out. I was like, all right, so that's all. I guess I play what I play now. Just I think only because it's similar to violin. That's what I used to play back then. I still want to get back into violin, but we'll see. We'll see.
Let's do it.
Do it, yeah. I did.
Yeah.
I know.
Some electric violin.
Oh, yeah.
So that's,
I always want an electric
Zap,
violin.
zap, zap.
dang, there you
Put
go.
a fucking distortion on that, dude.
Yeah.
With the trumpet.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Incorporate it. Yeah.
You know, trumpet and violin.
that'll be intense. Listening to y'all while I'm camping in a tent. No, I'm just-
What the fuck?
That's a mosquito.
that's a mosquito. Oh, that's good stuff. And you know, here's one thing that, cause you know, like it always, you know, it's always different and stuff. So, how did you guys meet? It seems like you guys have a very, very unique way of meeting. So, you know,
Yeah.
Yeah. Funny. It
even,
all just came together, right?
even before we set this up, like when I met a few of you guys, like you guys just gave me like a different vibe, which was
It's weird.
pretty awesome.
It's weird because like I had found out like when I got into the band that we all went to school together. I didn't know any of these people. I had never
Yeah.
the only person I knew, like I've known Joe just because I don't know, like he's just he knew my friend, like they dated, so I knew that. And yeah. Scandalous. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, but he's like older, I believe. And everyone else, I had no idea they existed. I'm so
were
sorry.
to her.
No, well, I mean, I was kind of too, but yeah, but still, like, but it was just weird to know that we all grew up together basically, and
Well, you're younger than us, right? So
yeah,
I mean,
but high school, right?
well, how old are you? Well, me
25.
and Joe's, you're 25.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, so
I'm
you and Joe
25.
were in the same class.
No.
No, she's a grade under me. She's
Yeah, and you were a
under me.
grade under us.
Yeah,
So,
right.
Yeah. Yeah. So me, Richard, and Kat were
Yeah.
in. Yeah. It was
Class of
back
2012.
Oh,
2011.
Yeah, Kings of 11. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Fucking pathetic ass shit.
you guys are making. Hey, it could be worse. It could be class of 2020.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
You guys are making me feel old. I'm class of 2009.
Oh.
Mm,
Me and
That's by
I
two-
mean,
that's by
we're
2
only 2
years.
years. Yeah, 2 years.
But still, like, I'm old.
Well, I met Richard in
You guys met,
math, right? I met
Yeah, it
him
was a
in
math- it
freshman
was a math class.
math.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
and then I think we I think we met in freshman math, and then we were friends, but then we didn't play together till like 3 years later. Like you came to my house and we jammed, and then we found out, or that's when we both realized that we lived like down the street from each other.
Yeah.
So
I was like, wow.
yeah, it was fucking
It's like a 1 minute away from your house.
yeah. And then I didn't meet anyone else till I joined St. June, but Joe and my brother were friends, right? You guys had a class together, I guess.
Yeah, we had a
One.
class together, but I knew him through my brother. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, because he's a year older than me. He's in the grade above me.
and they're in the same grade.
Yeah,
And Butters would go over to your house
Yeah.
and stuff.
they fucking play.
And
Halo.
I'll tag along to be that little brother that mom make him let him take me with him or whatever, I don't want to be.
And I wish I would have known if you had your guitar, we could have jammed.
Yeah, very true, dude. That would have been very true. It would have been jamming.
And then
Over the
Cat,
system
Cat I
weekend.
knew in Coakley.
Yeah. Me and Rich
Was it
actually,
like 7th?
I think we never like spoke to each other, but we were always around that little crowd. But we would always see each other.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And even till
Yeah.
high school, I think it was the same way. We would always bump into each other, but we would never speak. And then not till
Oh.
TSCC, we started like, hanging out. We started jamming.
Yeah.
Who made the first move?
I
That's what I was
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
say.
Yeah.
That's
You
what I
did.
was-
This guy.
That's like a star-crossed romance.
When
And then Joe.
One day our
and
hands
Joe.
touched.
Oh, yeah. And then Joe, I knew ever since we were cousins.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Yes,
say
we
that
were
shit.
baby.
Dude, it's crazy. Me and Joe actually knew each other when we were kids. Because
Yep.
we worked with each other. And then
Oh, that's
You guys work
going
McDonald's?
to schools. And then I remember we ended up meeting up again in high school. And I'm like, yo, dude, I know you. And you're like, nah, man, I don't know you. And I was like,
Oh yeah.
like this guy was like, bro, we used to hang close to each other.
Rejected.
I was like, no, I
And
wasn't. I
was
wasn't.
like,
I
I don't
swear
know
I
you,
wasn't.
man. And then I think 3 days later he comes up, he's like, hey, man, you look real familiar.
Oh no,
It
dude!
didn't hit me.
I told a girl that once. I was at a football game for like when I was in high school. This chick comes up to me. She's like, "Hey, how are you doing?" I looked at her like serious. I'm like, "I don't know you." I walked away.
Man, she was gonna suck your dick, dude.
I know.
Oh, goodness.
Uh,
Good time.
So sad.
yeah, I know Richard and Joe practically my whole life, and then I guess we went to different schools and we had our time apart, and I just like I didn't recognize you without your glasses because you weren't rocking glasses anymore.
Once I got contacts, I was a whole different person.
Yeah, it's like the mustache gimmick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
He's Spider-Man.
Yeah. I was like, my eyes started sparkling, and his eyes started sparkling. I know you.
I know.
And I didn't. It was just us in the beginning, and we would write songs together. And we had some people join us and sit down with us, but we didn't. It was never consistent. And then we're like, oh, we need a bass player. But who? And Richard's like, oh, my friend Brandon plays bass. You know Jerry? It's Jerry's brother. And I was like, yeah, let's bring him on. Yeah, let's do it. And then I met Brandon. That's how I met Brandon. It was at Joe's place.
Yeah.
In the room that you had. and
Space.
and we all played and jammed together, and I liked how fast we clicked, and how the chemistry just struck. And so we were jamming regularly and stuff like that. And yeah, and I knew Alice a little bit through Joanna and stuff, and whoops. And
Whoa!
I don't want to say names.
Oh.
Oh,
And whoops. And
shout out.
that just slipped. But but yeah, it was cool. Just like growing up together, being acquaintances and whatnot. And then yeah, I remember when Alice, you didn't meet the band, right? You didn't know anybody until like you came that one time from
Yeah, I do.
to the
Are we
band.
gonna talk about
rehearsal.
how that creepy ass experience?
It's a good transition to get it out of the way. Yeah, I guess so.
Shit.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I mean, I knew Joe and he kind of knew me. We never really spoke too much, but I knew he existed. And I had gotten a message. This was years later. Obviously, high school ends, and like 5 years after high school, I get this message off of Instagram from Joe, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me from high school, but I remember you, and you did the talent show or whatever." And just like a little, I guess, backtrack. I did this one performance that I was like so proud of, and no one knew who I was because like I wore a blonde wig, and like people were just like, "Whoa, did you even go to the school?" And I mean, of course, I was like invisible, but it was like my one moment where I was like, yes. And so it was crazy because he was like, "Oh yeah, you're the talent show," and I was like, you were there, you knew. Like you remember my proudest moment, the proudest moment of my life. But yeah, he was just like, "Yeah, like you sing and stuff," and I was like, yeah. And he didn't know that I had been wanting to be a part of a band for like years. And at the time I had a boyfriend who like, he was in a band, and I kept just like, "Hey, people that play music, can you get us together or something?" And like, they're just like, you're a girl, no one wants you, like, we're trying to play like heavy stuff, okay? There's no room for you in deathcore, okay? And I was just like, oh, okay. So like, so I get this message from Joe, and he was just like, "Hey, like, are you going to maybe like try to jam or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, like that's cool." And he's like, "Okay, well, we work out of this abandoned building." And I was like, okay.
Yeah, why you gotta say it like that, Joe?
Yeah, and
It's straightforward.
It's not abandoned.
Good job,
he's
Joe.
usually playing late at night. So, could you meet us here at this abandoned building at 11 p.m.?
Oh no.
I'm not gonna say like Chuck E. Cheese and have her follow me to like a abandoned building. Like,
Dude.
It was
that's
next to a
just as
children's
weird.
hospital.
Oh.
It's next to a
Oh,
children's
yeah.
doctor.
Joe, did you leave
Yeah,
Andy?
The bar.
and I go in, I remember like when I'm walking up, there's like plastic on the glass, and like it's dark, and there's like no
some
light.
Dexter shit going on, man.
Yeah, and so like I open the door and I see like this glowing blue light. I'm just like, what the hell? And I just like walk in, and it's just, who was it? Kat was there, right? You were there?
Yeah.
Yeah, were you there, Rich, or no? Because I know for sure Joe and Kat,
I was
you were there
there.
too. Okay, yeah, so they're just chilling with your vape and shit, just like, so. And I was like, okay, yeah, these are definitely not the weirdos I thought. Like, I don't know, I was walking, I don't know what I was gonna expect, but yeah. So I did a little clip, I guess, like a audition, and I mean, there wasn't really ever like a, oh, okay, like, yeah, like, yes. It was just kind of like I just kept showing up, and then that was it. Like, I basically was just brought in like that, I guess. I mean, I was down to go, and they were like down, like they were down to have me, so it was really cool.
Yeah, I think it was after that first, like, I guess, audition. I think
Yeah.
because Brandon wasn't there, I think the three of us kind of already knew, like, this is a singer we've been looking for. Like,
I was supposed to be there, but it was too damn late.
Oh, I think it was because
Like, it was supposed to. You were supposed to meet earlier, but then you were at the fucking movies or something, and you're like, "Well, it gets out at 11:45." And I'm like, "I'm not gonna go at midnight to go."
Yeah, that's what,
Creepy. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that, so I just didn't go. But
it was it was a for sure thing. Like we knew once we heard her sing,
Yeah.
like all together, that's three. I think it was like, yeah, this is the one that we need.
Yeah, I remember
The
saying that.
one.
I remember how like quiet it got when Alice walked up, and it was like, okay, and I just like, I don't know, I felt really nervous.
Yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know if y'all felt the same way.
Just 3 men in a dark building with one woman. Yeah, I'd be nervous.
I know
Yeah.
you guys felt nervous. What?
I felt nervous. I felt. It was
The
like,
door
okay.
that locks, the door that only
Door-
one person has a key to.
Terrible.
Man,
That's
that guy.
terrible. And yeah. So it kind of like snowballed after that.
No, dude, but
Yeah.
Alice came in like clutch with all these lyrics. Like for Hazy Goose, she came.
Whoa,
Yeah.
yeah, for real.
I
Yeah,
wasn't expecting lyrics that quick, and she just, boom.
and see that leads into the next question. What is y'all's writing process?
Oh.
I think it's changed a lot now. But at first, you know, they kind of had music already. They already had like things that they were playing. They just didn't have a vocalist or lyrics. So it was just instrumental, you know. So originally I had told them, I was like, okay, look, I'm sorry. I am kind of a control freak.
Yeah.
So like I'm in and I'm letting you know, I'm going to try to organize some stuff or whatever. And so I told them, okay, so let's practice the songs. I want to get into what you guys have, you know, like catch up to where you guys are at. And also while we're practicing these songs, let's kind of get a feel for what we want to do later on. You know what I mean? And so while we were going over the songs they had, I'd add lyrics. We also started writing other songs and, you know, I'd add my lyrics and stuff. And so I think for like the first year or so, a lot of it is just kind of not really random, but I guess more experimental because, you know, we had a mix of things that were already, you know, established and then also kind of like playing around with different ideas and then also like, okay, you know what, I think we kind of like this, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, it was different at first because it was a lot of just us all trying to get used to each other. You know, I think that's important, you know, blending well or whatever. But now, I mean, I really, really don't like to be too hands-on when it comes to like the instrumental stuff. I have kind of ideas. I like to write music, and so they're totally okay with me coming up with things and just kind of giving it to them and saying, hey, can you guys interpret this your way? Because a lot of the songs that even like that I would write at first, they've changed a lot because I say, hey, you know what, I think it needs you guys' touch. Like you do what you feel or how you interpret this, you know? Otherwise it's on them. And it's crazy because like when they write the music, it just happens naturally. Like it is really crazy, especially like with Joe and Rich. They just kind of like, I laugh so hard at them because they don't realize how in sync they are. I'll be like sitting there and they'll be like practicing and sometimes they'll just be like diddly 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 and they'll both stop at the same time and just be like, yeah. And it's just like, what the heck? Like you guys like are so in sync. And it just like goes, and it's weird. And they've written songs, I believe like Catalepsy, right? Like you guys wrote that one so fast.
Yeah.
And also which other one? I think it was
Howl.
Howl too. That one
Mhm.
happened like in
In like
20
one
minutes.
session. Yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I mean, they are able to like, you know, I'm the complicated one. When they're writing the music, you know, it happens like naturally. I'm the one that's like, okay, here, I'm gonna pick your brain a little bit, and you know, they're able to have like fun with it and do what they feel or whatever. But yeah, I'm just the complicated one in the mix. I just make things more hard for everyone. So
But it works, so that's awesome.
Yeah, it does work.
yeah, somehow.
And
How?
yeah,
Yeah.
how,
I remember that day.
I was listening to that song like a few days ago. Can you tell me a little bit about that song? Cause man, like that song, like I heard it and then I heard it again and then I heard it again because I was kind of confused. I was like, oh shit, maybe I'm listening to the wrong band. And I actually messaged Joe. I'm like, hey, can you send me your YouTube? Because I want to make sure I'm listening to the right band. And well, I was on the right YouTube, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, so can you tell me a little bit about that song and how it came about? Because like, I'm gonna literally like jam out to that song like all the time now because it's super fun.
That, I mean, that was all, you know, Joe and Rich, and they I think it was the lick that you started with, right, Joe? I think like you just kind of, because yeah, he started it off with just like, and I mean, I remember we were just like chilling, and you know, I always just kind of start with humming, and I will record like a little melody that, you know, I like, and I'll add the lyrics later, listening to it, just kind of whatever I feel off of it. But yeah, like I can't, do you remember how it started?
Yeah, I remember how eager we were, you know, jamming out together as a band and everybody. And I remember talking about the album, how fun it's gonna be, you know, because we're not really sticking to one style on this album that we're having coming out. And so we're just toying with ideas like, oh, well, let's do a reggae song, and it'll go like this. And then so I started playing that riff. Um, and then Richard just chimed in like naturally. It just sounded okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I got something
He
here with my
does that.
delay, and
Yeah.
and it just took off, and we wrote it real quick, and it's like, okay, well, let's come up with a chorus part. You know, we wanted to sound a little punchy and heavy, you know, and then that came about really cool and groovy. And so, okay, let's make a bridge, and it just fell into place after that, and that reggae vibe kind of like it feeds to let's make this album you know, not really specifically one style, but to just have fun with it, you know, to just make what we make, and whatever comes out comes out.
I'm actually really, really excited about the album because, you know, from going from Howl to what I'm gonna ask you guys right now too. You know, like it's like I'm super excited because, you know, with the disease and with what the lyrics and, you know, just the feel of that song and it being so different from, you know, how you know, it kind of, you know, when I heard I heard both songs for like maybe an hour each, you know, just trying to like let everything sink in and, you know, like so I can know the song a little bit more. And, you know, when I like after I was done with it, I was like super exhausted and like I'm really excited for everything. Sorry, I'm kind of
Yeah.
right now.
No. Oh, thank you. We
I
appreciate it.
really like Alice's lyrics.
Yeah,
I really do.
yeah, they're really good and they're relatable too.
Mhm.
If there's one thing I really love about this album, it's Joe's solos. There's something about Joe solos in these songs.
Dude, yeah, I was thinking the same thing,
Liar,
dude.
Is it Liar? He has like a real, I think it's Liar, I'm not sure, but there's one where it's like, man, that solo, I have to just keep going back to that little section. I don't restart the song, I just right there, just hear him. And man, dude. You're in there.
Well, before we talk about the album, can you tell me a little bit about the disease?
Sure. What would you like to know? Like, kind of. Well, I mean, for the again, it being created, that was Rich, right?
Richard.
Or who?
It was Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Rich's idea.
Yeah.
That was cool.
That's why it's really interesting because everyone kind of.
Way to go, Richard. Nice way to really define that song.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Richard,
yeah. When I first started, like, what was it? The chords, right? It was the chords when I started playing them. I guess I was jamming out to Deftones for a lot, like for good minutes, jamming out to that. And I guess that's probably why the chords popped up. Like, I guess you could say it was influenced by Deftones.
Yeah, it just sounds straight up like that.
Yeah,
The intro, at least.
you can hear the influence. Maybe I thought
That's
I
all I
was
started.
Deftones. No, just kidding.
But putting together that song was fun.
Yeah.
Man, you guys need to show up to the spot today and just freaking kick everybody out and be performing. Just perform the whole album.
Yeah, wish we could.
Yeah, awesome.
And when would we be able to hear the new album?
The 1st of June.
The 1st of
June
It
1st.
should-
Next
all
Monday.
of the it should be on all of the major streaming sites. I know that it will be on YouTube as well, but we're gonna be the ones posting it ourselves off of our page. So it'll be on YouTube as well, and Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't think of the other ones, but like all the main ones, all the big names, it'll be available. But yeah, June
Big boy
1st.
name.
I'm totally buying that album first day.
Oh,
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
I don't care if I don't have any more money. Guys, tip me at the bar. No, I'm kidding. Oh, here's a fun one, or y'all can make it crazy or whatever. But what is the most memorable moment in the band history?
Hmm.
Memorable.
That's a good one.
Let's make you guys.
I can't remember anything. So.
Or you know what?
Yeah.
What's the craziest thing you guys have seen while performing?
Not craziest, but I guess just my string popping in the middle of the show.
Oh, Sino Ray.
Oh,
Sino Ray is
yeah.
probably my
Sino
most
Ray is-
memorable.
Yeah,
That was
memorable.
really awesome. That was
Yeah.
a great.
yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
I saw these two ladies dancing to the beginning of Howl before it started getting.
Yeah.
They were.
I forgot about that.
It was like real soothing. They were like they had the drink. They're like, yeah. And then we picked it up and they're like, oh, yeah.
Like ladies or girls?
No, ladies. Like these were older.
Like
ladies.
old ladies? Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot what.
Yeah.
If we're really digging the beginning, like, then
You know what? You know what? I'm gonna honor those ladies, and I'm gonna dance the whole song next time I see you guys.
There you go. Thank you.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Sino Ray was a great show.
oh yeah.
That was really great. That was really
Play
awesome.
there again.
Yeah,
Felt
I'm really,
like a real rock star.
Yeah, for real. Me
That's
being
really-
like on a platform, I was like, oh,
Yeah,
dang.
the
Yeah,
lights.
the stage was kind of fucked though. At least where I was standing, it's like all dipped.
It's like in my old house where like the floor was just uneven.
No,
Well, yeah, but like this was like I felt like at any moment my foot's gonna go through that floor.
Oh damn.
oh,
Yeah,
damn.
it was like completely
That's like-
unleveled.
That's the chaotic life of a rock star, Brandon. Okay.
A broken foot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Basically, yeah.
You gotta learn to deal with it, bro.
It's not worth it.
We're gonna need you. We're gonna need you to stage dive next show.
Fuck that. I don't want to ruin my guitar.
Yeah.
Next time we go to Sino Ray, Brandon's gonna be the first one to go on stage to inspect it. Like, all right, I'm
Oh, yeah.
standing right here, guys.
He's gonna bring a ruler and some.
Yes.
Bring some 2x4s with me.
That's
Put
my
a
foot.
foundation down there.
Hey, he's gonna show up the day before so he can fix it.
It's okay. I got a builder's permit.
There you
Say,
go.
where's your builder's permit at, sir?
Hey, all I'm saying is that I really hope that place gets saved so we can.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be.
I've already donated a few bucks there too, so I'm hoping it helps.
Same.
Yeah. Yeah, it needs to stay open
Yeah, man.
for this for the scene.
That should be labeled well, it is historic, but it should be labeled a historic, like this
Landmark.
place to be open no matter what.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
definitely.
And I know you guys have like a really strong following here in the Rio Grande Valley. But would you like to let your fans would you like to tell anything to your fans right now? You guys have the floor.
Come to their shows.
Yeah.
First,
Yeah.
family and friends.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thanks for supporting
It'd be,
us.
yeah, it'd be great to see more people, just come out and stuff. I mean, I don't like to be out. Brandon does like to be out,
Nope. I
But I
go
mean-
on, then I leave.
Hopefully, with the album, people can hear the music that we made and they'll show
Yeah.
up.
Oh yeah, it would. Yeah. On being serious, it's awesome the kind of support we've gotten. I think we've
Yeah.
gotten a lot of support really fast, and I would like to see that grow. Just want to thank all the people who consider themselves fans of the band.
Yeah.
I'm
No, I mean
excited.
it's awesome. We've had a lot of help, and I mean there are some people that are just so like we have our loyal following, and that's like so crazy because like they're almost always there, and it's just like it makes a huge difference because then it just kind of pumps us up because like sometimes we don't feel it going in. Obviously, you don't get to choose like how you feel the day of the show or whatever. And then just like seeing those people like, dude, they came for you. You know what I mean? Like they want to, that makes all the difference. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy. You can't take for granted having like that kind of support because it's just like you don't realize that that's kind of like our our fuel and energy too. That comes off of that. So
Definitely, and I'm really excited to see you guys on stage really soon because if it's at the spot, I'll definitely be there, and I might be there for work, but I'll actually be there to watch you guys.
Awesome.
thank you.
I'll be there to be seeing June,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
and I'll be seeing you next month too. Cause I'm sorry,
There you go.
I'm sorry. Someone date me.
No, it's cool. And we have our pun man over there too, Joe.
Yeah.
That's
He's a very
like
punny guy.
that's that's
Yeah. What is with those goddamn puns these last few days, dude?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like
See
out of
that?
nowhere. Man.
I'm a cashier.
Yeah.
No, you want not.
It's the
Hey.
quarantine. It's been holding him in, so we need to let him out.
My brain.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Oh yeah.
It's like you start off the puns and then the other person starts it off too. Just continue and continue.
Yeah, that's our group chat basically.
Yeah.
That's
All
great.
it takes is one team, and everybody starts
Well,
saying
Puns
What
on
was that one pun that it all started? It was something with a duck. Was it a
Duck?
duck?
Oh, it was unfunny.
Yeah, most of my puns are funny.
No,
Dude, I laugh at how unfunny they are because it's
Yeah.
just-
I don't remember what it was, but it was a duck one, then it was a cashew one, which is
But we
pretty.
love-
That
but we
was
love
funny.
it brings life because then otherwise like we'll have our group chat, it'll be like no action for like 3 days, and then all of a sudden here comes the pun
Oh,
Soft.
from Joe,
going through his
bringing
own
it back
cycle.
to life.
I think the band would like this one.
I'm
like what are the drummer name is twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2.
Oh,
I don't wanna-
I think my dad. I honestly think my dad sent that one to me.
Yeah.
Like, I think so. My dad sends to the group chat with me and my brother and sister. Dad jokes all the fucking time, dude.
Anna 1, Anna 2.
that's
Yeah, I'll just stop right there.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna
These puns are not free, you know.
I'm just gonna start sending y'all punny messages or something. I don't know.
Damn.
And we're getting here towards the end. And here's a fun one. And y'all can answer this one like separately. Because I don't think the elevator will have enough space. But if you were stuck in an elevator with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
Bob
Can you
Dylan.
repeat that question?
Anything.
Sorry.
If you were stuck in an elevator with any musician, dead or alive, who would it be, and what would you talk about?
Bob Dylan.
What would you
Yeah,
talk
I
about?
don't know.
We'll talk about anything. about how phony he is, but in a good way, because he's great. He's my favorite of all time. But I don't know, Bob Dylan. I'd talk to him about fucking anything, dude. Whatever.
Right?
awesome.
Just life, like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to him about music in the '60s and shit. But yeah, be Bob Dylan.
Mine would be Tom Petty.
Ooh.
Mine would be Tom Petty.
Yeah.
I just asked him. I don't know. Just talk to him like nothing. Maybe we get to a point where like, hey, what's your thought on this? And I'm sure he would answer it.
Oh yeah.
That's how I feel about that.
Probably tell him a pun.
Who?
Yeah. Who? What? What'd you say?
Huh?
No. Oh, what you say?
What'd you
What?
say?
What?
Who is this guy?
Uh,
Come on, fellas, let's go.
Yeah. Oh.
You're in an elevator, dude.
Haley
I
Williams.
don't.
You're gonna
Honestly,
die
I
in
wouldn't
this
know.
elevator.
Yeah, I guess Haley Williams. Yeah. You
probably
know,
go with,
I'd be
Richard.
like, why'd you cancel that show in the Corpus that one time? You know?
Dude,
Oh,
Oh, well, you know, that's probably what I'll bring up. It's like,
little
bro,
about that.
I'm so mad, bro.
awkward elevator ride.
It'll be 24 hours till you get out.
Yeah.
That's a long
Huh.
elevator.
Yeah.
You, Alice?
Probably Devin Townsend. He's alive and kicking and amazing, and he's just there are no words to describe how much I love that man. He is just so inspirational. The way he orchestrates his live performances, that is the dream, honestly. Like, he is constantly bringing people onto his project. I've seen him go to like different communities and picking people, just, you know, people from the neighborhood to do these recordings, like his professional recordings. And it's just so beautiful. Like, he is such a creative, young minded like soul, and he has no shame in it. Like, it's just so colorful, and I don't know how to explain it. It's heavy, it's beautiful, it's electronic, it's futuristic, it's community driven. Like, he's just he blows my mind. Like, that is the dream. Like, that is the man. You know. So definitely him, just to talk to him, like, just to hear anything. I don't even care, just whatever he has to say, because I know he has a lot of stuff that I could learn from.
Awesome. And lastly, where can we find you guys?
Harlingen.
With your
Yeah.
eyes, mostly.
This is Richard's address.
Starbucks.
I'll send you my address.
Well, we're on Facebook, Instagram. We have Twitter. I think we have 2 Twitters.
But we're not active
Yeah.
on it. No.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we were
no.
talking about this yesterday. Dude, are we on Twitter?
Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
We're
we
not.
have a
We are,
Twitter.
but we're not.
yeah, I had made another one for us because I was trying to, like, you
So
know,
3 now.
put the same email and same passwords and stuff or whatever.
At the
And
real
so I
scene
go,
team.
and I was trying to put the username or whatever, like the @ thing or whatever. And I was looking up and I was like, oh, that Seeing June is already taken. And I was like, oh my gosh. And I was going to tell you guys, like, dude, someone took our name, but I guess it was the old one. Like, cause yeah, so there's 2 of those, but we don't use it ever. So I mean, we're mostly active on Facebook. We have Instagram as well, so we'll try to post things, you know, but it's mostly stuff that we posted from Facebook, and Instagram's just kind of reminders, like, for stories and stuff.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
Yeah, and of course we have YouTube, and we're finally, you know, obviously we have to wait a little bit, but June 1st we'll have the album available on YouTube. And I think that's about it, like, social wise.
You hear my dogs?
Yeah.
My dogs were barking.
I keep trying to mute it.
Oh no, don't worry about it, man. Like, hey, dogs, what else would you like to say? Tell me, please. I love dogs. I love dogs.
Nothing.
Nothing. No, I love dogs. Like, I'm surprised my dogs haven't come over here and try to scratch the door, or bark at me or something.
I'm missing mine.
What you
Oh,
doing,
no.
Alice? I spent a lot of time on that.
Damn, Alice.
I done it. You
Spent a
don't
lot of
get it.
time on that.
Wait, what is that? Are those CDs or?
No.
Tell him,
but-
Cat. Tell him,
Cat.
Cat. Where can you
Cat.
pre-order these, Cat?
These are handmade, bro. Scene June
By you,
logos.
by
man.
yours truly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Cop one now. You know.
Josephine June Alien.
You can buy the blue
Yeah.
one off of Joe for 45. You can buy the red one off of Richard for 55. And you can buy this big gray one off of me for $99.
You can sign it for $100 more.
That's funny. But I want to thank you all for spending a part of your Saturday with me.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all want to hang
course.
out at the bar? I'll be at the spot tonight. Wink, wink. And don't forget, everybody, Seeing June. His new album will be out June 1st on all platforms, I believe, but especially on YouTube. So check that out. Subscribe to them, like them on Facebook. Oh my God.
Shout out to the council. The group.
Shout out to the council, yeah.
Yeah,
Who the fuck's the council?
the council.
Who's the council?
Council, man. It's the council, man.
Council, bro.
Yes, of course.
It's so quick.
Thank you all for listening. I'm Ernie Crazy Eyes from Music and Beyond. And remember that without music, life would be a mistake.